What's up guys, my name is Jack, you're watching JBTCG, and today we're talking about the insane pre-release pricing that Surging Sparks cards are getting. Now if you're not familiar with the pre-release timing for sets, it's usually about 2 to 3 weeks before a set actually releases that stores and LGSs actually get their product on hand, and they can't actually sell it to the public or ship it out to the public in that time, so they do pre-orders for these products. But what this also means is that they're able to open up some packs and get some pulls. And because the demand is so high for a set in pre-release and the amount of supply of these top chase cards is super low, these cards get huge premiums. Usually after a set releases and the product is flushed out to the entire community, these prices of these singles drop around, 20 to 50%. It kind of depends on the card, depends on the hype and all that stuff. But generally you can tell which cards are going to be the top hits in a set based off of this pre-release pricing. Obviously, things can flip-flop. For Shrouded Fable, the Cassiopeia was the top card. In pre-release, it was like well over $100, and now it's like $45, $50. And the Pheasantipity and the Gold Earthen Vessel have since taken its place. But in general, it gives us a good idea as to what the top chase cards are and what is the demand for this set and what do people like and what do people not like. Now, first off, the price of this Pikachu SIR on eBay is insane. All the prices I'm getting are going to be from eBay because I've seen active listings, I've seen things sell, things not sell, things get bidded up, etc., etc. But the Pikachu SIR card is valued over $300 right now. I put a screenshot in the thumbnail of a bid at an auction that ended yesterday. Over $300 with 2 hours left. I didn't see it when it ended, but over $300. I consistently see bids on these Pikachu cards over $300, which is insane. Like, that's the most expensive card that we have from the Scarlet and Violet era. Or I guess it's competing with the Greninja. It's kind of neck and neck, but like, this is a huge chase card. And a lot of people were dogging on it, saying that no one's going to want it. It's such a mid card. And I honestly don't love the card that much, but it's a Pikachu SIR. People are going to love it. So over $300 right now, that is nuts. Still waiting to figure out pull rates and stuff like that, but that's for a separate video. The Hydreigon EX right now is looking right around $120 to $130. It's kind of fluctuating a lot with these pre-release sales. There can be a lot of fluctuations because the supply isn't that like deep. So like if someone buys one at 120 and the next like lowest listing is 140, it can go from 120 to 140 in a matter of 3 hours. So Hydreigon EX is around $120 to $130 right now, and I think that's a pretty good spot for it. I don't think this card will hold above $100, even though it is super cool and I really like it. But starting off at over $100 is a great place. Lycia's Appeal is up around $100, and I expect this one to drop a good amount just because full art trainers don't really do too well in English. Like if you look at Erica's Invitation, like that's a really nice trainer card, and a lot of people were hyping it up in Japanese and stuff like that, but in America it's like $16 for that card right now. For the SIR from Scarlet and Violet 151, it is a $15 card. Now I think the Lycia will be much more expensive than that, but that's just an example of if you're trying to buy these cards on release and like around pre-release, I would not buy the Lycia's Appeal just because those cards seem to drop the most. Onto the Latias EX. This is around $200, which is crazy. I was not expecting it to be this high. I was thinking it'd be like right around the Hydreigon, like 120, 130, where like the Pikachu has the most value, whatever. And then the Latias and the Hydreigon are kind of neck and neck in second. But no, this one's at $200. And honestly, it's a really beautiful card. I don't think it will stay at $200. I think we'll see it drop maybe to like 120, 130, but the hype is real. The hype for Surging Sparks is in fact real. Milotic, this is around $90 right now. This is another beautiful card. Surprising that it's much cheaper than all the other ones, but I guess like Latias is a legendary, Hydreigon is a like pseudo legendary, Milotic is not. But the artwork on this card is great. I think it's going to hold a lot of value, and I think a lot of people are going to want it long term. So I think we won't see it drop a massive amount from this, but it'll definitely drop like all the other cards. Surprisingly, the Alolan Executor is around $100 right now. The card, like the background is really beautiful with the sunset and stuff. I didn't think this card would be would be this expensive. I didn't think it would be beating out the Milotic. Like, it's goofy. It's a goofy looking card. He's a goofy looking Pokemon, but yeah, that's insane. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that are at or above $100 from this set in pre-release. That's crazy. That is actually insane. The Durant is right around $60. I expect this one to drop a good amount, just because it's not going to be one of the top chase cards. It's a cool card. It connects if you put them side by side. So I think there will be a lot of demand for it because people won't just buy one. They'll buy like 3 of these to fit in their binder. But $60 I think is about right on pre-release. The Archaludon, it's gonna sound bad coming out of my mouth, but he's around $30, which no surprise, he's the dud of this set. I said this like 2 weeks ago, but this is gonna be the SIR that people get and they're like, no way, just wasted an SIR pull on an Archaludon. So I think this one's gonna drop. I think it's gonna be like a $12, $15 SIR from this set. And like, it makes sense. The art doesn't stand out that much. It looks kind of like regular full art. But an illustration rare I want to highlight is the Latios, which connects to the Latias, and this one is at $50 in pre-release, which is, honestly, it's not crazy, but like, that's expensive. That is an expensive card in pre-release, and that's just an illustration rare with most likely the pull rates of 1 in 13, not for the Latios specifically, but just for any illustration rare. So honestly, I could see this Latios kind of hovering and not actually like tanking like a lot of the other cards do. I could see this being kind of like the Squirtle, where it like kind of sits around $40, and like, even though more and more supply is coming out, people are opening more packs, it still isn't really dropping that much. I think that's what we'll see this card do. But based off these special illustration rares, this set is looking insane. The value in the set, the pricing of the singles, and then the demand for the singles and the sealed product is all just like, it's off the charts. Like, this is going to be a mess. Honestly, it's gonna definitely be a mess. The Pokemon Company is 100% gonna have to reprint this like a couple months down the line. I don't think they can wait a year to reprint this because cards are gonna be way too expensive. Sealed products is gonna be way too expensive. So I think we'll see a reprint within the next 8 months. No guarantees, obviously. Like, don't take my word for that. That's just, if I was the Pokemon Company, that's what I would do. So, and usually they do the right thing, they do the smart thing, and they reprint things that have a ton of demand and products are getting expensive. So I think we'll see a fat reprint for this, but we'll move on to where I think these cards will actually settle out in the next couple months. I think we're gonna have one card over $150 being the Pikachu. I think that one might be at $200 in like 3 months or whatever. No guarantees on that, obviously. No guarantees on any of this, but I think it can hold a $200 price tag. It's pretty popular, and I mean, the pre-release is over $300. I think that's all I need to say. And then I think we'll have 2 more cards above $100. One of them I think will definitely be the Latias. I think that one can hold like maybe a price tag of like $130 to $140. I think the Licia will drop. I don't think that one will stay above $100. I think the Hydreigon could be a contender to be above $100. I think it'll hover right between like $110 to like $85. So I don't know where that'll end up shaking out, but I think those 3, the Pikachu, the Latios, and the Hydreigon, are going to be like our top cards from this set. And then I think the Milotic will settle around $55 because it's a cool card, but pricing is already like below $100 for this. There's nothing, it's not really something that's going to be pumped up in any way, or like people are going to be flocking to get this card, or like ripping packs to pull this card. Like, most of the YouTubers and streamers and whatever, the bounty is going to be on the Pikachu. It's going to be on the Latios, maybe the Licia or something. The Milotic is going to kind of take a back seat, in my opinion. The Alolan Executor, I think, is going to drop a good amount. Even though it's kind of goofy and funny, I think it's going to be like a $40, $45 card. Nothing crazy, but not a cheap card by any means. Durant, I think we'll see is around $20 to $25, where it's a cool card, and I think the demand for getting like a set of 3 of them will kind of bolster it up a little bit from being like in the teens, but I don't think it's going to be above $30 long term. Archaludon, $15 card, and then the Latios illustration rare, $35. That's my guess. Who knows? So in like 3 months, 2 months, I'm going to come back to this video and like see where my guess is on these prices right. But all I can think about right now is the premiums that these cards are going to get in PSA 10. Like, this this is going to be crazy. These cards are like, we're going to see like $700, $800 cards coming off of like the next month whenever like the speedy people get their PSA cards back. Like that Pikachu is probably going to be like $800 in a 10. I think the Latios will probably be like $600, $500 in a 10. Like it's going to be crazy when we first get those like first sales. And even say that all these cards drop by 50% in value from where they are now, that still means we have a card at $150. We have one at $100. And then a bunch right around like $50 to $30. That's better than I think most other sets that we have, if every single card drops by 50%. And I don't think they will. I think some will. Some might even drop by 60, 70%. But I think a lot of these will drop by like 20 to 35%, where they're definitely cheaper after more supply gets introduced, but they're not going to be dirt cheap. This set has great value and great depth, and I think the booster boxes are going to lead the way in terms of pricing for investing. Like if you're looking at a price per pack kind of like breakdown, I think booster boxes will be the first to go, and then I think booster bundles and ETBs will just follow right behind. And if you've missed out on booster boxes for cheap, where prices were right around $100, and now all you see is them at like $130 to $135, or even more, buying ETBs might not be a bad play. Pokemon Center ETBs, obviously, I think those are a great play, but I think both of those products are still going to be good investments, and I'm definitely going to get some ETBs, Pokemon Center ETBs, of course, and I think some booster bundles. Maybe we'll do some rip and ships on the channel, some giveaways, some stuff like that. And for those, I'm going to choose booster bundles and ETBs instead of paying massive premiums for the booster boxes. And I assume this set will get reprints, but I don't think we'll ever see box prices down near $100 again. I think the market has pretty much repriced this, and it's going to be $120 plus for a booster box from here on out. Let me know if you guys were surprised by the pre-release pricing, or you expected them to be even more expensive. And just your thoughts on Surging Sparks in general down in the comments. I'll respond to everyone that I see. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay safe out there.